Hello and welcome back to View from the Den. My name is Ethan Belfon. I'm here with,
Suleiman Fowl.
Damon Georges.
and today we have a special guest, Dean Davis. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, and I'm ready to go.
All right.
Yeah.
So, how do you think the regular season went?
I think it went well. Obviously, we were 6-4. Obviously, you never want to lose anything, but we lost to some very, very good teams, some of the top teams in the state, Ralston Valley, Arapahoe, and Cherry Creek. And then we let one get away against our up the street, the school up the street. I'm not going to say their name, but so we let one go. But it was a learning opportunity for us, and we're better for it. So on to the playoffs.
So, what was your approach going into those games?
Just all season.
Yeah.
Obviously to get the win, but to get better every quarter. We want to be our strongest in the fourth quarter. Defensively, we want to run to the ball. We want to be fast and physical, and disciplined. Offensively, we want to get a good pace going, and then get stronger as the game goes on. And then the fourth quarter, we will always want to finish, and hopefully that ends up with a victory.
Okay. And so, if you could replay those four teams that we lost to, what elements would you add to it?
Good question. I think I would add a little bit more urgency in some of our eliminate some turnovers. I'll just speak to my running backs. We had a fumble in the Cherry Creek game. We had some other fumbles or maybe interceptions and others, but specifically to my guys, we had a fumble in our territory, early in the game. It kind of swung the momentum a little bit, but just little mistakes here and there. Running through the right gaps, and offense. I can speak offensively, catching the ball, running the right routes. From a running back perspective, hitting the right entry points, getting on the right hip of the pullers and other things. So little things, but as you learn in life and in football, it's the little things that add up that contribute to the win or the loss. So I think that's just it, man. It's just little things that we could have done that swung the momentum, and those little things added up, and we ended up losing, unfortunately. Mm-hmm.
So, what are some strengths and weaknesses with the team that you've played with this year?
Our strengths, I'll go offensively first, is obviously Liam Zarka, number 12, senior quarterback on Air Force. He's, in my opinion, top 3 best players in the state. He makes the engine go. He's the one that drives the bus. So we also have great skill on the outside with Xavier Neto, Zay Neto, Kyler Vaughn, and then Nate Denton. So we have some strong young guys coming up as well. In the backfield, we have a junior, former first team all-conference running back, Donovan Vernon, and the upcoming sophomore, Chris Blanks, who are both great backs. They're different backs, but they're great talents. So defensively, we're strong up front. They got better every week. We have some good linebackers, and our DBs are pretty young. But we all play as a team, and they play fast. Deficiencies, obviously, they're just young. We have some young guys out there who just don't have a lot of experience. So, that's the major deficiency. So once game by game by game by game, they get more experience, they can play faster, and that helps us out.
Okay. So, I know that you're the running back coach. The Grandview football team has 1,063 rushing yards with 16 rushing touchdowns. What are some factors that you and your coaches have to train your running backs to get as many yards as they can or as many touchdowns as they can?
Well, first, we have a creed. Fast, physical, disciplined mindset. So we want to be fast. Obviously, we want to be physical. We want to run discipline, and we want to have the mindset that not one man is going to tackle us, and just keep our shoulders square, ball security, and also be a complete back as far as pass protection. Um, so really the main thing to be a great running back is to have that mindset and also to run discipline, all right, be where you're supposed to be, but also have that instinct to and that great vision to get 4 or 5 yards. So it's not, we try to score every time we touch the ball, but I call it the nasty 4. Like we'll take that nasty 4 yards, and that keeps the drives going. I'd rather have 2nd and 6 than 2nd and 10. So we're always trying to get positive yards. So footwork is important. So it's an all-encompassing. You're not just running the ball. There's a lot that goes into being a running back, and then what you see on Friday night is the finished product. This year, we haven't had the yards that we've had in the past. I've been coaching running backs here for 18 years. So, most times, except for maybe 2-3 years, I've had a 1,000-yard back or more. So, I have the two-headed monster with Vernon and Blank. So, it's a strong running game. So and then add Liam Zarka, who's a running quarterback as well. He's an athlete. He can sling it, but he also can run, and he adds to our backfield as well. So we have 3 backs back there essentially that can do the job.
Okay, and so you mentioned Liam Zarka as one of your star players. He had 174.7 passing yards per game. And not to mention he's a senior, so he'll be leaving next year. How do you plan on rebuilding the quality of the team once he leaves?
I don't think you really have to rebuild the quality of the team because the team will always come together. The team will always stay. The structure of the team will always stay. We're talking about replacing a talent as big as Liam Zarka. So that's going to be. We have to get to work right away as soon as we're done. Hopefully it's not till December, but as soon as we have to work on just building that next man up. Nobody can from the old. Remember the times. Nobody can replace a Liam Zarka. That's not going to happen. He's probably in my time the best quarterback that's ever come through Grandview. So you can't replace him. All we can do is next man up, coach him. And maybe some other positions have to step up, and we'll have a great player under center next year as well.
All right. So since you're the running back coach and you're with the running backs the most, how do you think your 2 running backs, Donovan Vernon and Chris Blanks, how do you think they performed this year?
Good. A little inconsistent at some points, but sometimes a little undisciplined. But we're hitting our stride right now. They've been good throughout the year. They've been falling forward, getting positive yards. I can't look at how many carries we have, but we've only had 2 fumbles this year, which is too many. But of all the carries of all the games we've only had 2 fumbles. So last year we just had 1. So that ball security, they've been good great at ball security. Their practice habits are good. We have a motto: no such thing as a walkthrough. We don't do walkthroughs. We have to go full speed. Do they get to that all the time? No, but what is fatigue? We don't know that. So we gotta, we gotta carry the load sometimes. So, how we play is how we practice is how we play, and that's what we believe in. So I think they've done a good job. They're different backs. Donnie is more of a masher. He's going to run you over. He's going to stay A gap, and he's going to mash you, run you over, and get those hard yards. Chris is more of a glider. He'll get there. He'll run discipline. Then he'll slide in, slide out, but he's always moving forward. He's smooth. So they complement each other really well.
Okay. The team has 52 tackles per game. With only 0.8 sacks per game. I know that you're the offensive coach, but can you talk more about what the defense needs more help with?
You know what? I wouldn't say they would need more help. I think they just need to. I think there's just a time where one play here, one step here, filling a gap here, or taking the right angle to the quarterback, right angle to tackle, taking certain steps as the DBs or the corners, playing the right coverage, getting the right. So I don't say it's kind of an all-encompassing thing. But the main thing is, no matter who maybe makes a mistake, they all run to the ball, and that's a great thing with our defense. We're fast, so and when we're ready to go, obviously, Coco Wakalanji, he's one of the top players in the state, top defenders in the state, going to Air Force as well. He's a guy. You have Carr back there, who's a masher. He's going to hit you in the mouth. You got Mason, who's doing his thing this year. Marcus Nesbitt, who's playing hard, who's stepped up this year. So, we've got some guys. Crowns, who's always playing. The young guy, Ramedrick, is doing his thing. He's a freshman. So, Jackson Flores, who's a freshman out in the corner. So we've got some young talent, along with some older talent that works well together, and they're fast. They go to the ball, they run to the ball, and they're violent with it too. So that's a good thing. Yeah.
Okay, and so you mentioned structure a lot. So what is the specific structure that you discipline these boys to?
So what you mean, like structure, is as far as like discipline?
Yeah.
Like in your schoolwork, you have discipline to, I'm going to do this subject, this subject, this subject. You're going to do it well. This is how I do it, and that's how, our structure is. That's, we have a good practice structure, and then that's what keeps us disciplined as far as our knowing what we're going to do, what shoulder, defensively they'll call wrong arm, and how we attack, our angles. Offensively, our foot, as far as running backs go, our footwork. Receivers, their releases, and quarterback Liam, he has his progressions that he looks at. So we try to stay disciplined in that. So that's how we keep them structured, is in attention to detail as far as like footwork and what we're doing. So.
Okay. You mentioned a lot of players that are doing big things for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any more players who have stepped up this season and helped the team?
Yeah, like I said, Marcus Nesbitt is a big one. Carr is a huge one. I would say Nate Denton is, I wouldn't say a surprise, but he's been a big play guy for us. Unfortunately, he got injured, I believe, in Cherry Creek. Dom Henning, big time player, tight end, big body. He's really stepped up this year in his role. Had some injury concerns, but he's really stepped up. When healthy, nobody can cover him. Vaughn, you can't teach speed like he has. He's a quick twitch guy. He can go. Defensively, like I said, Jackson Flores is a good player. So we're making strides. There's going to be there's a lot of people that contribute to our success. It's not just, obviously we have Coco and we have Liam, but those are names that everybody knows. But we have a lot of guys who contribute to our success as a program and an organization. So.
And so, what are some flat-out goals you have for next year's season?
Well, you always want to win state. I think that's a goal, but it's you take it day by day. It's a cliche, day by day, practice by practice, and you get better you're supposed to get. I tell my backs, get 1% better every rep, and so we get better practice by practice, game by game. We just want to go 1-0 every week, and then hopefully when all that happens, we can end up at Fort Collins this year, the state championship game. So hopefully we can end up at Fort Collins for the ship. So that's our philosophy. We go game by game. We don't look ahead. Obviously, we have stuff like Eagle Crest and CT, but in those kind of rivalry games, neighborhood games. But we take it game by game. We go 1-0 every week, and that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you for being with us, Dean Davis.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I've been Ethan Belfon.
Suleiman Bell.
Damn, Georges.